Is it just me, or is this Mercury in retrograde particularly retrograde-y? I hope that's a word. I don't think that's a word, but who cares? I've heard from so many people this week about miscommunication, glitches in technology, delays, and plans that are changing with absolutely no good reason. And we still have another full week. Plus, we've got Mercury shadow after that. So I thought it was time to put together a Mercury retrograde emergency kit. Now, this isn't about being afraid of Mercury retrograde, and I certainly don't think that we should be putting our life on hold every time Mercury appears to be moving backwards. But I do think there's times when the energy feels a little bit more intense than other times, and this is one of those times. The idea of having an emergency kit is to have some things all in one place that can help you slow down, get grounded, and reset when things are feeling a little bit chaotic. I'm starting with a small container. I'm using a small box for mine. You can use a box, a bag, a basket, whatever you have on hand. This is practical magic, nothing complicated. The first thing I'm putting in my box is black obsidian for protection and grounding. This is really helpful when it feels like everything is going sideways around you. With that, I'm going to put in clear quartz. For me, this is about clarity. Mercury retrograde is legendary for misunderstandings. I want something that's going to remind me to stop, think, and make sure that I'm communicating clearly before I hit the send button. Now I'm adding a small white candle and my special Mercury in retrograde reset oil blend. I made this blend using jojoba oil as the base, along with lavender for calming, rosemary for clarity and focus, and sweet orange to lighten things up and to bring in a little optimism. This smells fabulous. And then, because I like things pretty, I added a little mica powder, which gives it just a touch of sheen. When things start going haywire, I use my oil to dress my candle, and as I light my candle, I set an intention to calm the energy around me and approach whatever's happening around me with a more grounded perspective. I'm also adding a white feather. Feathers are associated with the element of air. This connects beautifully to communication. For me, a feather is a reminder to pause, take a breath, and choose my words carefully. Because during retrograde, that extra pause before you speak or hit the send button might save you a whole lot of explanation or apology later. And speaking of practical magic, sometimes the best Mercury retrograde magic is incredibly practical. Write things down, confirm appointments, double check addresses, make a note of what somebody actually said instead of relying on your memory 3 days later. And for that purpose, I like carrying around a little notebook and a pen. Now you can personalize your kit with whatever items feel most helpful to you. The point is to have something that you can reach for when you're having one of those days. You know, when your computer isn't cooperating, when someone you love completely misunderstands something that you said, and the plan that you thought was all settled has suddenly changed for the third time. That's when you pull out your Mercury retrograde emergency kit. And if DIY isn't your thing, no worries, I've got you covered. I have ready-made kits available in my Etsy shop. Check the comments for the link. And if the energy in your home is feeling a little off, one of my favorite ways to reset it is with a Mercury retrograde simmer pot. I also have a Mercury in retrograde simmer pot ebook. It has 4 magical recipes specifically for Mercury in retrograde, along with information about the ingredients, substitutions, and helpful tips for creating your simmer pot magic. So between your emergency kit and a good simmer pot on your stove, hopefully we'll all make it through the rest of retrograde with our sense of humor intact. Because sometimes that's the most important thing you can put in a kit. I'm Gabrielle Morningstar, reminding you to stay magical.